Good afternoon. We hope you enjoyed this week's afternoon shows, as this was to see if we could do 3. This is Volt News Network, and these are your stories today. The House has voted against a continuing resolution brought forward by the Republicans this time, with all Democrats voting no on the proposed spending reduction. This likely has to do with the lack of funding for Ukraine in the proposed bill, which Democrats have taken on as a signifier of their party. With such a big disconnect on whether or not we will continue to fund Ukraine or making it a partisan issue, we now have no clue as to where we stand on funding the overall government. At first, it was the Democrats claiming the Republicans want the shutdown, and now the Democrats are the ones who voted no to funding the government if it isn't on their terms. Hopefully, the two parties can come to a resolution before Sunday. Parts of New York City were hit with dangerous flash flooding today, as intense rainfall continued across the region overnight. New York Governor Kathy Hochul declared a state of emergency for New York City, Long Island, and the Hudson Valley due to the extreme rainfall. Between 1 to 5 inches of rain had fallen in parts of the city, with up to 2 inches expected per hour still. The concrete and pavement in the city exacerbated flooding as sewers struggled to drain the large amounts of rainwater. Compared with Tokyo's intense floodwater management system, New York City has a long way to come if it wants to keep calling itself the world's premier city. The United Auto Workers Union expanded their strikes against Detroit automakers after negotiations stalled, with 7,000 additional workers walking off the job at a Ford plant in Chicago and a General Motors plant near Lansing, Michigan. This was the second time the union widened the strikes, which began 2 weeks ago at 3 assembly plants. Ford accused the union of holding up a deal mainly over representation at future electric vehicle battery plants. GM manufacturing chief also said the union was calling more strikes just for the headlines. The expanded strikes now involve around 25,000 UAW workers, total out of 146,000 across the 3 automakers. Analysts said the strikes highlighted the battle between union demands for higher wages to afford electric vehicles versus automaker concerns that increased costs could impact electric vehicle competitiveness. These are your stories today. Tune in tonight for more stories you don't want to miss. This is Volt News Network. Happy weekend.